Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again and again.
They told me not to come to YouTube. They told me not to do this. They told me to stay home. But the godfather of gaming has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MAGGCAST. That's right, we are here, we are ready to party, and we are about to have a great time. I hope everybody likes the new sound effects. I've been working on them. All right, so we are good, we are live, we are ready to rock. We got some things to talk about. We got a lot of things to talk about. Listen, man, when it comes to the mag, you know that it's impossible for me to not talk, right? You guys know how I am. You know how I operate. But it's absolutely amazing to see so many people in the chat already. Super happy about all of that. And super happy to see everybody there. Look at all these beautiful names I see there. There is a sea of green. I'm looking at it right now. Sea of green of all these maggots. They are all in this chat and ready to rock.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Let me tell you something, Magnum. If you don't know what this sound effect is from, it ain't no funeral, buddy. That's the entrance of the Undertaker. Come on, you should know that. And plus, it's spooky month. I was gonna have a little jack-o'-lantern here on the side tonight, but I couldn't do it. Johnny Danger from Denmark. Hello, my friend. Greetings from Canada. How we doing, everybody? I see some new faces in the chat, too. That's really exciting to see. I love that. We got Magnum. Everybody, be careful. Magnum has got the... he's swinging the wrench tonight, boys and girls, so be careful. Although I posted... By the way, Magnum, just so you know... I went through, like, all the YouTube, whatever... the settings and all that jazz, and I have literally no restrictions on my chat. None. I have no restrictions. So I don't know what the hell happened a couple of days ago when you were saying, oh, like some of his comments were held for review. And I'm like, that's totally weird. So I went back and I checked it, double checked it, triple checked it, and I looked and I was just like, nah, man, everything is cool. Everything's groovy. So yeah. So there it is, folks. So we got a little introduction out of the way. Just want to see... let all these beautiful people pile in. Hope you're all having a great week. I hope all of you guys enjoyed XNC yesterday. We had some real colorful people in that chat last night. Holy mackerel! I mean, obviously we had the regular people, the wonderful people, the good people, and then you have like, you know, whenever you do like a show and you see like your numbers are a little higher than usual, and then you see names you've never seen before, and they all start talking crap about you in the chat, and I'm like, oh, I know why you're here. You're not here to watch the show. You're just here to like cause a ruckus. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's all those kind of people, man. All those kind of people. What's Bobby saying in the chat here? How you doing, Bobby? Guardian, Johnny T. Look at this. Look at all these great people. Magnum, Top Gamer, Zeb, Woggerman, King Styles, Brandon, Ion Storm, King Styles. Look at all these people. Matthew Gale. Hi, everybody. I can't keep up with all these names. It's impossible. It's impossible. Big boy Barry's in the house. Sober tonight, so I'll just be lurking in the chat. All good, dude? You should, well, I mean, if you guys were here last week, remember that epic mag show I did last week was unbelievable. I mean, I finished at the 2-hour mark, like the normal show, right? And then all of a sudden I turned it into I don't know, I just like, something like clicked in my head, and I'm like, I feel like I just want to keep talking. And I walked over to my bar, and I pulled out a bottle of Jägermeister and a bottle of cognac and just started pounding booze. And the next thing you know, I looked at it, and we were at 4 hours and 50 minutes of me talking solo. Unbelievable. What an epic show. I'll tell you right now, that's not happening tonight, okay? We ain't doing no 5-hour show unless, like, there was some crazy breaking news and we needed to talk about it. But either way, that's what's happening. Dizzy Delta, welcome back. Dizzy Delta was watching my stream today. I was playing Battlefield 6 campaign. I started last night. I did a stream last night. I did another one today if anybody wants to go check it out. Feel free, man, because it's absolutely awesome. Guardian, I hope I didn't miss your name in the chat there, buddy. Volsto Amps. It's an interesting name. I love that. What's up, Mag? Long-time XNC listener. First-time Mag show. Hey! Let me tell you something, buddy.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Volsto Amps, welcome to hell, buddy. You're in the maggots trenches now. Yeah. Anyways, what I was saying, listen, man, I ain't doing no 5-hour drunken podcast tonight, okay? And you know the funny thing is, famous last words, because you know what's gonna happen? Fast forward to 2.5 hours, all of a sudden I'm gonna pull out this bottle, and all of a sudden things are gonna start happening and whatever. But it would have to be like breaking news, like Phil Spencer quitting or something. Then I'd be on there for like 6 hours. But no, Dizzy Delta, I did not buy a disc drive for my Pro. No need for it. The other reason is, Highlander, how you doing, buddy? Iron Balls. I didn't buy one because I game share with my wife, right? She has a PlayStation 5 base model, and I have the Pro, and you can only game share digitally, right? I mean, technically, you know, she can come down and grab a disc and go upstairs, but we wouldn't be able to play together. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that we want to play Battlefield 6 together, we wouldn't be able to do that with a disc. You have to buy that digital so that she could play it at the same time as me. You guys know how it goes. It's because PlayStation game sharing is no different than Xbox game share, right? So you have to buy the games digitally. However, I got some great news for you guys. Brandon, stop. Okay, look, you're being a bad influence on me.
Yeah!
Right off the cliff, dude. I can't have it. I can't have you doing that to me. Brandon, I'm going to have to kick you off the cliff. Listen, I have no self-control, okay? No self-control whatsoever. Right off the cliff.
This is Sparta!
There it is, right off the cliff. Brandon Christensen, I got to do it. He's a bad influence on me. Look what I have here. A big glass of water. You know that'll be vodka eventually. So anyways, as I was saying, if you buy Little Nightmares 3, very much like the Haze Light games that EA has, just so you know, you actually can play the game. If one person buys it, a second player, because it's a co-op game, a second player doesn't have to buy the game. You just use that whatever the hell it is, like that game share business, whatever the hell it was. I don't know what the hell it's called. Anyway, either way, let's just say for argument's sake, Yusef, I bought Little Nightmares 3. He could play with me for free. You know what I'm saying? So he could play with me for free because I own the game, and then he just has like the game. I was about to say Game Pass. Like it's like the Buddy Pass or whatever the hell it is. And look at how we start off the show, ladies and gentlemen. We're only 11 minutes in, and Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat comes in hot and heavy, and he sends a 5-bomb gifted membership. 5 gifted memberships, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness, my goodness. What a way to start the show. Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat, you are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. You are amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome all the new maggots to the chat.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
That's right. You're told not to come.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
That's right. Vince Virtua. The I Don't Care podcast. Rob, King Web, and Unreal Aim. You guys are all channel members. You are now all maggots. You are all maggots. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat. One of my biggest and first supporters out there, man. I am eternally grateful for you because you know what? Eventually, this is going to be my full-time gig. I'm telling you that right now. When I say it, I'm doing it. That's not going to change. That is happening. When I set my mind to something, it's going to happen. It may not happen tomorrow. It won't happen next month. It may not happen in January. But by God, love of God, it's happening. And for all those new channel members,
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
that's right. Welcome to hell, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are in for it. But anyway, here we are. Portal Player, how you doing? So anyways, getting back to Little Nightmares 3. So if anybody bought Little Nightmares 3 or you want to split it with a friend or that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Even if you got a buddy and you'd be like, yo, listen, you pay $20, I'll pay $20, and then we can have this game. Even if you don't game share, you could use that pass thing or whatever it is, the buddy pass, and you could actually play the game for free online. So that's really cool. I thought that was a really interesting, a little interesting thing that they did because they took a page out of Haze Light. And if you don't know who Haze Light are, they're the guys who made It Takes Two and Split Fiction. Fantastic co-op games. If you haven't played them, please go play them. They're 10 out of 10s, both games. Crusader, can we buy shares in the Mag Show? That's coming very soon. That's coming very soon. I'm telling you that right now. Jeffrey Garcia is going to be buying $250,000 worth of mag stock. We're going to call it mag stock. It's gonna blow up bigger than Bitcoin. You see, Brandon Christensen, I want to touch on that. Yeah, it's like a buddy pass. I don't know what the hell it's called, Iron Balls. What are you going to break my balls for? Just because you're named Iron Balls, you got to break my balls? I don't know what it's called. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say Game Pass because it's going to sound like I'm talking about the Xbox Game Pass. That's not what I'm talking about. Brandon Christensen, I want to touch on that before we get into our first topic tonight because it's important. There's a lot of talk out there. I listen to all these podcasts. PlayStation, Xbox guys, neutral guys, whatever. I listen to everybody. And there's a reason why I listen to everybody is because I want to gather everybody's information and sort of look at it and just be like, let's see what everybody's saying and then make my own decisions and then see where I sit on all this stuff, right? So that's kind of how I operate. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've heard a lot of discourse out there saying, oh, the kids these days, they don't play consoles, they don't play PC, they play mobile. Yes, they do for now. But what people fail to understand is that, thank you, Top Gamer Pro. You hear that? He says, forget Bitcoin. I'd rather invest in Mag. Thank you. Mag stock. There we go. Oh my God. The man has entered the chat. My longtime friend. I've been online with him for 5 years. We're gonna get back to that conversation, but I gotta introduce him because he's one of my best online buddies. We first met 5 years ago when I started on Noof Nukem's show, way back when, Gaming After Dark, and then I was on Mr. Boomstick XL's Primetime Gaming on Wednesdays, which in those days wasn't Wednesdays. I think it was Tuesdays or Mondays, and then we switched to Wednesdays eventually because ironically. No, it was Mondays. Ironically, we switched it to Wednesday because Colt Eastwood started doing XNC. And the hilarity is, 3 years later, I ended up joining XNC. How funny is that? But either way, I was online. I started meeting the community. And one of the first people to talk to me is this complete scumbag named Percolator 9000. There he is. He's in the chat.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
There you go. There you go. There you go, Percolator. That's what you get. Right off a cliff, buddy.
This is Sparta!
Right off the cliff, Percolator. How you doing, buddy? Let's get back to what I was saying. When it comes to these kids and mobile games, they're like, oh, they just play mobile. Sure they do, if they don't plan on ever growing up. But I could tell you this, things change as the child changes. How do I know this? Because my kids are now growing up. One is a teenager, just became a teenager. The other one is 10. Just turned 10. And sure, they play mobile. But guess what they both wanted? PlayStation. Guess what my son is playing? My son's getting platinums on PlayStation Plus because I got him PlayStation Plus and I connected him and my daughter's PS5. They both have PS5, but I'm only paying for one. I'm not gonna be paying for two. So they game share, so to speak, so that my daughter piggybacks off his account. You know how that goes, and then so she's got access to PS Plus. She's playing Poppy Playtime, Five Nights at Freddy's, all that kind of shit. She loves that stuff. Actually, you know what she really likes? She really likes Hollow Knight and Silksong. That's her jam now. 10 years old. Can you imagine? She also just finished Little Nightmares 1 by herself. She's halfway through Little Nightmares 2 because she really loves the macabre. She obviously takes after my dad. After my dad, Jesus Christ. She takes after her dad, which of course is me. She's a big fan of the macabre. My wife, the same thing. We have, now that Halloween is here, my entire house is filled with skulls and skeletons and witchcraft and like cauldrons and all kinds of cool stuff like everywhere. My whole house is decorated with that stuff. So we really enjoy this. Sabina's Finest, how you doing? Artemis Gaming? How about that? So here's the thing. So now my kids are playing all these games or whatever, but they used to play mobile. But they start to grow up. And when you grow up, your tastes change over time. And it's something that people need to understand. It's like you're not going to be a kid forever with the same taste. When you're a little child, you may hate Brussels sprouts. But when you grow up, you may really enjoy butter glazed Brussels sprouts with little bits of bacon in it. Or you might just like Brussels sprouts like me. I love Brussels sprouts. As a kid, forget it. Your tastes change over time. You mature over time. And like, I know people still play mobile. I still play mobile here and there, whatever. I'm playing like, you know, Tri-Towers, Solitaire, and stuff like that when I'm sitting on the toilet or whatever, right? Or in bed, you know, getting ready for bed, that kind of thing, right? Messing around on my phone when I'm not watching like Pornhub. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, all joking aside, their tastes change and they get up over and then they, like I said, they grow up, they mature, and they're going to want to get into that console or PC space and start playing the games that we're playing, right? And it's all part of that progression. There's not going to be like a cutoff where all of a sudden one day the kids are going to go, I don't want to play Halo. I don't want to ever play Spider-Man 3. I don't want to play Gears of War E-Day. I don't want to play Last of Us 3. Whatever, right? I'm just making this. Like, they're not going to do that. When they get older, they're going to be like, yo, look at this game. This is dope. I want to play that. And that's what happens. So they do grow up. You know what I mean? Anyways, I wanted to address that. Thank you, Brandon Cruz, because that was something I wanted to talk about that a lot of people sort of miss the point.
Oh!
You know what I'm saying? They kind of miss the point. And then, you know, from there, then it becomes a situation where it's just like, you know, they keep focusing on children with the mobile thing. Yeah, that's always going to be there, but they are going to grow up and mature. You know how it is. And we got Wooly Gamer here. Holy crap. Wooly Gamer's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the £5 super chat. My goodness, he's saying, sending love and support, fam. Battlefield 6 is the best kind of old school for me. I love it. Portal has insane potential too. Third piece SOCOM in the works. Well. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? SOCOM is in the works. Thank you, Wooly Gamer. I really appreciate the support, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you for the £5 super chat. You are an amazing human being. Thank you so much. I didn't even know you were listening to the show. That's wild. I think he was just kind of sneaking around in the background. I got distracted by Percolator 9000 talking in the chat there. What's up, little table? How you doing, buddy? We're going to have to send Percolator 9000 thinks he's all funny, eh? Doing the shots thing.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh, I'm here to fucking amuse you. How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me?
Exactly, thank you. Thank you very much.
Show is the greatest of all time.
Thank you, Kratos, I appreciate that. You want to say that one more time for everybody in the back?
Max Show is the greatest of all time.
Thank you, Kratos. Again, Wooly Gamer, thank you so much for listening, buddy. I appreciate that. Third person SOCOM. Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant like a whole new game. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to clarify what he was saying. Wooly Gamer saying that the third person SOCOM mod is via Portal. Incredible. Dude, I am so in. I am so in on that. Listen, man, let me tell you something. I mean, I talked about it ad nauseum last week about Battlefield 6 and the Black Ops 7 thing. I'll just brush on it briefly for anybody who didn't catch it. And like, some people, listen, some people are not going to like what I say. That's just the way it's going to be. I mean, what am I supposed to do? But I could tell you this. The game hadn't come out yet, so I hadn't started playing Battlefield, but I can tell you this. The beta of Battlefield was infinitely better than Black Ops 7 when I played Black Ops 7, that beta. And I said it before, I'll say it again. Hey, Matt G, how you doing, buddy? That Black Ops 7 beta was dog water. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was an ADHD fever dream nightmare sequence that I felt like I was in a nightmare that I couldn't wake up. You know in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, when Mola Ram makes him drink the blood from the skull, and then he has the dream that he can't wake up from, and he's on the table, and then they're like, what's happening to him? And he's like, he's in dream, but except nightmare, you can't wake up. That's right. That's exactly how I felt like playing that beta. It was terrible. And you know the thing is, I'm looking at it, I'm like, these graphics are awful. The maps all look the same. No one was doing the objectives. I mean, that's not like a design problem. That's not a design choice, but it was just no one was doing the objectives. No one was doing it. It was just, and then everybody was just congregating in the center of the map, and they're all jumping around like Mexican jumping beans. Doing, 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 off the walls, off the thing, off the roof, off the balcony, off of here, off of cars. And by the way, the cars, you should have seen the graphics on those cars in the Black Ops 7 beta. It was literally a plastic square with 4 black wheels on it. It was horrendous. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, this is not Call of Duty. This is not a military shooter. This is a nightmare. I hated it. Zombies was like, okay. But it was a disaster. It was a nightmare. There was like pink smoke flying in the air. There was drones everywhere. Metallic dogs walking around. These blue skulls floating around. I'm like, what in the frig is going on? It was a nightmare. And then as I'm sitting there watching it and I'm looking at this, right? And I'm going, you know why this game looks like this? I mean, it plays fine. Like, I mean, let's just talk about this. Mechanically, it's sound. Okay? The movement, little too fast, and it looks kind of dopey. Like, you know, like how they hold the gun like this, and when you're playing a first-person shooter, they go like this, back and forth, back and forth. It was going so fast. It was going like this. It was so stupid looking, but you know, the hit detection was good. The movement was solid. The frame rates were excellent, whatever else. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they be? It's an Xbox One game. It's a PS4 game. Can we all remind ourselves that? You're going to get like an up-res, you know, with a Series X or with a PC or with a PS5 or PS5 Pro. You're going to get an up-res. But this is a last-gen game we're playing. And that's why it looks... And I'm like, why does this look like ass trash? And I'm like, wait a minute. This is a friggin' PS4 Xbox One game. Because it's still available on those consoles. No innovation is happening. And as a result of that, and then I turned on Battlefield the next day. It was like I got punched in the balls while I wasn't looking. I mean, mind you, if I was looking, no one would actually be punching me in the balls. I'd probably put my hands up there and block it. But anyway, the point is, it was a sucker punch. And I turn on Battlefield and I'm like, holy crap. It was so jarring. The difference was so jarring that when I turned it on, I'm like, huh. Anyways, I went live with the game, right, on Battlefield. I played I played about 2 hours. But the first 40 minutes was the most embarrassing 40 minutes I think I've ever streamed in my entire life. And why? Because I sucked so bad because I had Call of Duty'd myself because I hadn't played Battlefield since Battlefield 5. Okay? I haven't played Battlefield since Battlefield 5. So it's been years. So as a result of that, I get in there, I start playing this. So it was so, like I said, the difference was so jarring. I couldn't focus. And I'm like, the movement was proper. Does that make any sense? They're moving like a human being. You know what I mean? Not like some guy who snorted 9 rails of coke and then just starts bouncing all over the friggin' walls like a cartoon. I'm like, oh my God, they're actually moving like humans. You've got to follow the objectives. You have a squad, you better, if you're not communicating with that squad directly, like with the headsets, because a lot of people don't do that anymore, you have to follow them, or they follow you, or you have to be strategic. 2 guys over there, okay, fine. They're about to go down this alleyway. Listen, me and you, let's go over this way. Let's flank. Let's do a little Frankenstein. You know what I'm saying? Let's get in there and let's go do this. Let's do the actual objectives. How about that for a change? We're playing domination. I'm going to Alpha. Let's go to Alpha. 2 of us are going to go Alpha. You guys go head off at Bravo. See if you can distract them while we take Alpha. We'll come and provide support after on Bravo. You're actually communicating. Hit detection's good. Sound editing is fantastic in Battlefield 6. Wonderful game. Wonderful game. Anyways, you know what? While they're talking about this, that was one of the topics tonight, was talking about the launch of Battlefield 6. However, before we even do that, Wooly Gamer, who's already dropped a £5 super chat, incredible. He even gets the horn, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Silent Hill, and welcome to hell. Wooly Gamer has become a top-tier maggot, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
There it is. Welcome to hell, Wooly Gamer. Thank you for joining the maggots. You are now officially a top-tier maggot. And listen, while you're doing all that, while you're here now, you're top-tier maggot. Whenever you see me online, we're playing Battlefield or whatever, top-tier maggots get first dibs on squatting up with me or whatever else. You jump right in there. We could squat up. We could do our thing. Stream on YouTube. Whatever the hell you want to do. I'm always there. We also have a members-only Discord. You can go check that out. And all my cooking videos, by the way, all my cooking videos are exclusive to channel members first before they go out to the public later that week. So there's a whole bunch of perks in there, so it's all good. Rambo is in the chat. Unbelievable. The Rambo himself.
You're a fucking choir boy compared to me.
That's right.
Choir boy.
A choir boy. Rambo's in the chat. Wooly Gamer in the chat. Thank you so much, Wooly Gamer, for all the support, man. You've been absolutely incredible tonight. And you're always incredible, General. And you know what the funny thing is? You guys want to hear something? You want to hear a little secret? Years ago, when I first caught on the scene, we actually didn't like each other. It's a true story. I was doing those Ponymaster 420 videos and stuff like that, and then you know the thing is, I thought they were funny at the time, and then when I went back and watched them, I'm like, they were okay. They were okay, but like it wasn't like, you know. Some of them were really dumb, you know what I mean? You know, and then I realized, I'm like, oh my god. Like it was, like I said, it was funny and it was good for a couple laughs, but then after a while, you're like, what are you doing, man? You're a grown-ass man. And I know some people said that. And I mean, hey, that doesn't mean you can't laugh and make jokes. Obviously, you laugh and make jokes, but it almost came across too much like console warring and all that kind of shit. So, you know what I mean? You know how it is. Sit there, like, well, he came with this. He says factual. Thought he was a self-deprecating clown. Oh, that's fantastic. This is what Wooly Gamer thought of me.
You are an idiot. You don't know anything. You don't know squat, you stupid idiot.
That was me. That was me. That was me. Yeah. Anyways, over time, I started to realize. It took a few years, and some people are so ridiculous. They just look at something and they go, "Oh, well, you know, he's playing a lot on PlayStation now, or he's doing this, or he's talking more shit about Xbox these days." Like I was doing that by myself, and I'm like, listen, man, I'm just calling it as I see it. And some people call me a flip flopper, you know, this and that. They didn't go as far as call me like the new crap gamer flip flopper, which, you know, so stupid. Those labels are so dumb. And then I said, you know what, man, this is ridiculous. I said, I'm gonna approach this the way I like to approach things, and just be like. And I said, start approaching this like a human being, like a normal person, like someone looking from the outside in. You know what I'm saying? We don't work for these companies. We don't own these companies. We're not going to get buried with our consoles when we die. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are consumers. And at the end of the day, as consumers, we need to understand that these companies just want our money. That's all there is to it. They don't like us. They don't love us. They don't give a shit about us. They don't even know who we are. They know who I am. My name's come up actually a couple times at Microsoft. Not my real name, obviously. But some of them are, you know, some of them have actually been asking a lot about who I've been talking to. They're trying to figure it out. Never gonna tell them. Never gonna tell them. Never gonna tell them. Never gonna tell them. Good luck, Phil. Good luck, Sarah Bond, trying to find out who I'm talking to. Hey, Percolator, have a wonderful night at work, buddy. I really appreciate you stopping by. Hey, 50 Trey Gaming, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for subbing to the channel. I really appreciate that, buddy. It's been amazing. Amazing journey. So anyways, fast forward. What ended up happening, I said, listen, I'm making my own channel. I'm going to do my own thing. And it's not like a slight against anybody else or whatever else. I'm still doing the show with Colt and all that stuff, and we're good. We're very good friends. We just actually got off the phone right before I went live tonight. And that's never going to change. And the thing is, people say to me, they're like, how could you talk to Reforge Gaming? I'm like, because he's an incredibly intelligent human being. You may not like what he has to say or the way he says it or whatever else, but why would I, like, we talk. I talk to Mooch. I talk to Wooly. I talk to Mr. Boomstick XL. I talk to Colt. I talk to Boom on the phone like normal phone, not like online. We talk like family-wise. You know, and all these other guys too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, it doesn't matter. Like, what am I not allowed to talk to people who like Xbox, or I'm not allowed to talk to people who like PlayStation? They may say whatever they want to say, and you may agree or disagree. It's totally fine. But at the end of the day, I said, you know what, man? We're all humans. You know what I mean? And just like, you know, just respect each other and respect what you like to say. And if you say something that's different or whatever, that's totally fine too. You guys know how it rolls around here. And that's how I did this channel, and that's how I got to where I am now. Yes, Wooly, he is a good friend. I talk to him like once a month. Not often. But we DM like once in a while, especially when I got some like information that I thought he would find helpful. You know. And that's another thing. I don't talk about any of that shit anymore. I mean, I do here and there, but like I don't really like go into the details of doing like these breaking videos of like this and that, because people lose their minds. And the problem is, it's not that I'm afraid to say these things. It's just not worth it. And I said it last night on MAGGCAST, or sorry, on XNC, and I said it after on the stream. And I said, you know why I stopped reporting all that stuff? And trust me, I know what's going on at Microsoft. I know way more than what the public knows of what's happening and whatever. But here's the problem. The problem is, you see, here's the lane. This is what I said last night. You see, here's the lane right here, right? If I go and report this lane and go, guys, this is what's happening. If they go like this, ever so slightly to the left, and say, well, we're still doing that, but we're adjusting it ever so slightly, they all come after me. I'm the idiot. I'm the thing. You crucify me.
You are an idiot. You don't know,
You know what I'm saying?
anything. You don't know squat, you stupid idiot.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what happens. I get crucified. Not the companies. Me. So I'm like, this ain't worth it. So anyways, at one point I was talking, there was a lot of ruckus around me, saying a bunch of things and whatever else. And of all people, Matty Plays reached out to me. And Matty Plays reached out and he goes, dude, it's not even worth it, man. Don't even bother with that stuff. He's like, even if you know all the stuff, he goes, what do you think? I don't know the stuff too? And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then he's like, don't even bother reporting that stuff. He goes, it's just in the end, you're the target, not them. And he goes, it really sucks and whatever else. And I'm like, yeah, that's G.I. Joe in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. The legend himself, the actual G.I. Joe is here. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. Anyways, Battlefield 6. Let's get back to the topic at hand. We're talking about Battlefield 6. Launched fantastic. There were a couple of queue times with some waiting times. I waited a maximum of about 15 seconds before I was thrown right into multiplayer. And then once you're in there, you're in there. It's not like you had to go and be like, oh, well, I'm going to be put in a queue every single time I play a multiplayer game. That's not how it works. Grandpa Barbecue, you see, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You guys are egging me on to drink tonight. Lou Bega's in the chat. He's saying, good for you, Mag. Protect your peace. Thank you. And it's not worth it, man. I will respond to stuff. And you know what the funny thing is? When the news usually starts to break, I already knew the news. So I could drop a video literally in the first minute the news breaks because I already knew it. So it's not like I have to sit there and read their articles and be like, oh, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? And then read through their shit and then release a video 15 minutes later trying to be the first guy on the scene. I already know. So if Tom Henderson breaks something, I'll be like, oh, there it is. And then I'll just go and do the video because I've already got it all right here, right? I already know what was going on. G.I. Joe, add me, dude. My EA ID is, if you're not on PlayStation, my EA ID is all capitals, all one word. I am the Mag. I am the Mag. Add me. I will add you back later. I will put you in the, whatever, in the friend category. The friend request. You know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. So, anyways, Battlefield 6. Fantastic game. Runs like a dream. I didn't see any problems, any issues whatsoever. No glitches. I mean, Zampella and the team at DICE really launched a solid, polished game. The crowds were there. The numbers were incredible, almost record-breaking concurrent players on Steam. It was amazing. What a fantastic launch. What a fantastic start to this game. Now, to answer G.I. Joe's question, which I was about to get into anyway, the campaign is actually a lot better than I thought. I saw a couple of guys out there had their opinions. Dreamcast guy didn't like it so much. IGN gave it a 5 out of 10, whatever. And I'm like, all right, whatever, that's fine. Listen, man, like I said, to each their own. I would never, say, you're wrong, because that's not how you're right and wrong works. You know what I'm saying? Opinions aren't right or wrong. You could just have an opinion. You could say that Godfather 2 is not the best in the trilogy, and I'd be like, well, okay, that's fine. And I say, well, I think it is. You know what I mean? I'm not going to point my finger and say you're wrong. That's not how that works. But anyways, they gave, IGN gave it a 5. Some other YouTubers out there gave it a lower score, saying it wasn't that good. I think, thank you, Willie. I think Destin gave it a lower score as well, Destin Legary. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let me go check it out. So I started streaming the campaign last night after XNC. I'm like, guys, I'll be on Battlefield 6. I'm going to start streaming the campaign. It's a lot of fun. It's great. Great production. The story is whatever. It's a first-person military shooter story. You know, the same old shit, different faction. You know, some guy comes in, does a terrorist attack on, you know, wherever, fill in the blanks, U.S. soil or Cairo or this and that, or, you know, in Modern Warfare it was in Piccadilly Circus in London, and you know what I mean, like whatever. And so it's like all these different places, and it's like but the same sort of idea story-wise, same generic story. But the thing is, I'm not really there for a first-person shooter story. If you want to give me a solid story, it's going to be something that would be like a more like a Ghost of Yotai, right? That kind of thing, where like there's a story, a cohesive story around the, you know, around the game, right? An Assassin's Creed. I want a story. I mean, I know it's about the gameplay, but you have to give me a story. First-person shooters, I really don't care, you know. Halo even. Actually, like, even Halo usually has, you know, interesting stories and whatever. I enjoy those stories. Gears of War, you know, like, there are story beats that happen in games, Gears of War, that make it interesting, like, you know, certain character deaths and stuff like that. But, like, in the end, we all know what happens. All the shit, all the monsters come out of the ground, everybody fights them, and then they, you know, and you just move on with your life. A lot of grunting, a lot of screaming, whatever. But anyways, the point is, the story wasn't really all that captivating, but I'm not there for the story. The gameplay, the production value, the explosions, the sound effects, the everything, the set pieces that are in Battlefield 6 are wonderful. There's some really intense areas, fighting in the subways under New York and Brooklyn. Wonderful section of the game. Even earlier in the game when you play in Cairo, and then you go back to Cairo in a tank. I'm not going to spoil whatever, but I'm just saying that there's all these different locations. Wonderful set pieces. Great. The graphics are stunning. It's funny, I'm streaming this game, and I'm going like this, and I'm panning the camera around. And I'm panning the camera to all these, like, vistas, right? Like mountains and forests and, you know, rivers going on. And you're kind of traversing through this and that. And I'm like, guys, look at this. You know, there's an area where there's an Alpha, a Bravo, and Charlie area where you have to, like, liberate these 3 sections because you have to do so-and-so, whatever. Hack into all these different things. And I'm looking at, like, over this village. And, like, I'm, like, going, oh, my God, guys, look at, like, just look at how stunning this game is. It's fantastic. Anyway, so that's great. The only thing is that the AI and like the actual like the enemies, after playing multiplayer for several hours, when you go back and play the campaign, it actually is almost comical as to how bad the AI is. Like, you know, like the whatever, the NPCs, whatever the hell you want to call them. And they're like running around and they're like they're just kind of standing there. And I'm just like, look at these guys, like shooting fish in a barrel. I'm just like, bink, 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 bink. And I'm like, I'm going down the row and just completely wasting these guys. And I'm just like, wow, look at how stupid. And it's only because I got so used to playing the multiplayer. Like, I started with the multiplayer and I put in about 12 hours into multiplayer, and then yesterday started the campaign. So it's kind of funny to see the difference in behavior of the enemy, right? Now I'm going to go back to multiplayer thinking everybody's just going to be standing around, you know, with their dicks in their hands, and they're like, hey, how's it going? I'm just standing here. Not realizing that, like, you know, human beings operate in a whole different level. It's going to be, you know, they're very slick and slippery, right? So it's going to be a different experience all over again. So it's pretty funny. Wooly Gamer saying, even playing against bots on Portal feels like an insane single-player experience. I'm going to go give that a try. Yeah, you know what, Literal Table, you're not wrong. By the way, Literal Table, welcome to the chat, buddy. I appreciate you being here. But the funny thing is that, like, a lot of the levels, there are obviously similarities with some of the other games. I did note that there was an area in Brooklyn where you're going through an apartment building, right? Or not an apartment building, like a townhouse, right? And it was like a 3-story townhouse, and you're starting off in like whatever, and it literally was the same layout as the London townhouse from the Modern Warfare reboot from whatever year it was. And remember that scene where you go into the house and they're like all the terrorists, like the terrorist organization were in the house making plans, and there was like 13 people in there or whatever, and you had to go floor to floor with your night vision on, and you're like, pew, 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 pew. You take out the 3 idiots in the kitchen, and then you move over and there's a guy taking a shit, you shoot him and whatever else, right? And then, like, the layout was exactly the same and the actual gameplay was exactly the same. The only difference is that these guys were heavily armed soldiers as opposed to just a bunch of dudes and a few chicks hanging around inside this, you know, in this apartment building, just like whatever, just hiding out, like almost like a sleeper cell. But yeah, it was kind of funny to see like the similarities. Again, the reason why I brought that up is because even in the chat here, who the hell said it? Was it Crusader? Might have been Crusader. I can't see it now. But he was saying, yeah, that clean house level from Modern Warfare 2019. Thank you, Literal Table. That's the one. Arrow Nation, welcome, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while. Golden Souk is in the chat as well. Yeah. So, anyways, the point is that there are some similarities there, right? So yeah, you will see some of that. You're like, oh, that looks like the the subway chase from Modern Warfare or whatever, and this and that. Oh, there it is. It's Little Table. He goes very Modern Warfare 3 with that subway chase. There you go. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're always going to see similarities because whatever. But all in all, I think the campaign is wonderful. I'm having a great time with it. I'm giving that like a solid 8 out of 10. Multiplayer, I don't know what all this bitching about with this progression system. I noticed it today. It's been starting to show up. There's a sentiment out there. I have a feeling they're like the developers from Black Ops 7. They're probably like putting all this information. Everybody hates the progression. And I'm like, I don't buy any of that shit. I've been playing and leveling up just fine. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. Okay, so not everything's going to be Fortnite Call of Duty where like you go in there and you're like, you play one round and you're level 76 after the first round. You see that shit when you play Call of Duty? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What's even the point? I don't even feel like I'm working for it. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they're giving away too much Halloween candy at once. It's like, I know I'm coming to your house for free candy, but like, holy crap, you don't have to give me a whole bag. Let me work for it. So I don't get this crying about this like progression system. I think it's stupid. Thank you. It makes you earn the cosmetics. That's what Wooly Gamer's saying. You know what I mean? Like, what's the... So anyways, that's I see that sentiment out there, and there's a couple of news articles really getting into it, and I'm like, this is fucking stupid. What are we doing here? You know what I mean? What are we doing here? But anyways, whatever. I gotta say, the multiplayer so far, what I've played, solid 9 out of 10. I don't see any real flaws with it. The only reason why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10 is because I suck. It's true. I mean, you know, I'm getting better because I have to un-Call of Duty myself. Remember what Yoda said all those years ago? You must unlearn what you have learned, young Skywalker. You must unlearn what you have learned. I have to un-Call of Duty myself and re-engage in my Battlefield mag. Because I played all the Battlefields. But like, I got, you know, I haven't played since Battlefield 5 because 2042, I just heard it was a mess. I didn't even bother. So I'm like, I don't want to play this. So I didn't even bother. But I played all the other Battlefields. I think I played the beta of 2042 for a little bit. That was about it, though. And I didn't like it. But anyways, doesn't matter. But all the other Battlefields, I put significant amount of time into those games. But it's been a very long time, right? So I have to un-Call of Duty myself. Yeah, thank you, Jejo. He goes, people just cry about games all different like, what is the difference? Bitch it. I saw article after article after article. The developers. I saw all these articles talking about how people are bitching about the progression system. Go shoot somebody, moron.
You are an idiot. You don't know anything. You don't know squat,
Go
you stupid
and shoot
idiot.
a couple of people. Maybe if you play the game, get into it, get a little better. Learn the game, learn how the game operates and everything else, and then you will continue to get better. And then guess what? You will progress faster. You'll get more attachments for your weapons. You'll unlock more skins. But instead, you got to be this.
You call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking degenerate prick. You know that's what you are?
That's what you are. Go out there and earn it. You know what I'm saying? What are you bitching about? Overall, I gotta say, the game, between the campaign, the multiplayer, I haven't touched the portal yet, which I'm going to. Ali, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the chat, my friend.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
That's right. I'm giving this game a 9 out of 10 overall. I don't see, like, it's hard for me to give games a full 10 out of 10 unless it's an absolute, you know, whatever. But I'm not seeing any issues with the games. I'm having no problems with it. I'm not really a huge fan of the large scale combat stuff yet, and I'm still trying to figure all that out. So I'm like, let me figure that out first, and you know, and maybe the score will continue to go up. But I don't see it going down because I've played almost everything that the game has to offer. I'm going to continue, obviously, for you know, dozens and dozens of hours. I'm going to continue to do so, maybe even hundreds of hours. Who knows? But I can't see the score going down because it's giving me everything I wanted from a multiplayer shooter. You know. Wonderful experience. If you don't have it, I would absolutely suggest getting it. El Nini, did I even say hi to you? I don't even know if I said hi to you. I'm here, brother, supporting you and working. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ali. Greatly appreciated. Seth Monster has joined the chat. Look at that. Unreal. Arrow Nation saying, only issues I'm having is Javelin blocking NVIDIA instant replay. Oh, that's weird. Blocking instant replay? Huh. Interesting. Oh, and that's right, Seth Monster. I forgot all about that. He goes, the free battle royale is a banger. This game is going to the moon. Yes, I agree with that. Now, this is not going to take down Call of Duty. The Great Wah? Did I miss you? Oh my god.
You're fired.
That's it, I'm fired. Thank you, Great Wah. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to not say hi to you, buddy. Anyways, as I was saying, it's not going to take down Call of Duty, but it's going to take a chunk out of it. I don't know how big of a chunk. I don't know how small of a chunk, but it's going to take a chunk. Yusef, you're still playing Battlefield 1. That's incredible. I got to commend you for that, buddy. But you see what I'm getting at here? Is this like, it'll take a chunk out of the game. I just don't know how much of a chunk. However, it's going to keep them on their toes because if you think about this, if you think about last year's Call of Duty, right, the Black Ops 6, the projections for that game were $300 million higher than what they ended up getting, right? I don't think they expected that many people to be playing it on Game Pass, on PC and Xbox, which is kind of silly. I mean, like, why would you think that people wouldn't just play it for a much cheaper price? But, I mean, their projections were much higher. They ended up getting $300 million less. Fine, whatever. They're obviously going to readjust their projections for this year, saying, okay, well, you know, we expect, you know, based on last year's results and analytics, we could say that we're going to have a little bit of a, you know, smaller, maybe our sales might be a little bit lower than what we had expected. But now, you've got that $300 million that they did not end up getting, that they had projected. So now you have to readjust for that. Now you're also going to have to readjust for the fact that within the same month, 2 military first-person shooters came out at full price. You'll be able to play Call of Duty on Game Pass, absolutely. However, what I'm thinking is this year, you're probably going to have more people playing on Game Pass than any other year. And the reason why is because there's a lot of people out there who bought Battlefield for a full $70 US, $101 up here in Canada. Right? $100 game up here in Canada. Do you think I'm going to buy Black Ops 7 for $100 after I just bought this one? I don't have time for both. Like, what do you think I'm doing with my time? I'm just hanging around, just waiting to play first-person shooters? It's ridiculous. Ben Angelo, welcome back, buddy. You know, Sergeant Essential, I will still play it. B. McAlips is saying, I have the best soundboard in the biz. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I got some funny ones. I got some funny ones in there. But anyways, the point is that it's still going to take a significant chunk out of there. So what I'm thinking is going to happen this year is because people plunked down their hard-earned dollars for Battlefield 6 and are loving the shit out of it, I have a feeling that the Game Pass interaction is actually going to be even higher. Because there was a lot of people that bought it on Xbox anyway, even though 82% of the sales were on the PlayStation, right? 82% of the sales of Black Ops 6 were on PlayStation. That still left an 18% chunk between PC and Xbox players. So therefore, I think that number is even going to be even lower this time. Because now they're going to say, well, I'm not going to, I just bought Battlefield for $70 US, 100 Canadian. I'm not going to, normally I buy Call of Duty, but this year I'll just play it on Game Pass for $30, which also is another egregious situation. You actually might. Now, you know what? My thought process is changing a little bit here. Hear me out, folks. When you raise the price to what you raised it to, I know people are starting to do this coping fucking horse shit. Excuse my language. Well, it's only $30. The fuck out of here. Right off a cliff. I'm just kidding. Listen, you guys do whatever you want with your money. I'm just busting balls. I'm just trying to be funny. But anyways, do whatever you want with your money. I'm never going to tell you what to do. Listen, I'm never going to buy a ROG Ally X for $1,500 Canadian. This is absolutely ludicrous. What am I going to do with it? Like, I barely even use. I have a PS Portal that I use 4 times, at 4 separate times of the year. When I go up north to the to the cottage for like a week with my family, I bring the Portal. When I go on vacation, I play the Portal. But when you're on vacation, like, what am I doing? What do you think? I'm sitting around in the hotel playing the Portal? It's only if it's like raining or something, or if I'm in the airport. You know what I mean? So, like, what am I gonna do with a $1,500 handheld that I have no use for? When I game here at home, and all my stuff is right here. All my consoles are here. My PC is here. Everything is here. So I don't game anywhere else, so I wouldn't buy that, right? So it makes no sense to me. But I've had people reach out to me, maggots and everything out here, saying, hey, Mag, I bought 2 of them. I bought 1 of them. I bought this. And I'm like, hey, man, good for you. I'm never going to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say anything about, what you do with your money. Do what you ever want with your money. However, now I got to start thinking twice. And the reason why I got to start thinking twice is because in Canada, Game Pass is now $38.62. That is no small amount of money for me to just say, fuck it, I'll just play Black Ops on Game Pass for $15, right? Now it's $38.62. That's a commitment. I know that sounds silly, but it's not silly. Think about that. When you go to the store and you see something little trinket you need for your kitchen or something, right? It's $10. That's an impulse buy. You just think, I need a new whisk. $10. But if you go to that section and and you're like, I need a whisk, and you pick it up and it's $40. Don't lie to yourselves. Everybody in this chat, don't lie to yourselves right now. I want you to sit back and think about it. If you picked up that whisk for $10 and you're like, hey, I need a whisk, and you throw it in your basket and you carry on with your business, buying your groceries or whatever, right? But if you pick up that whisk and it's $40, are you just going to go, just throw it in the basket and carry on with your day? No. You're going to go $40. Jesus Christ. It's a far cry from 10. I'm like, do I really need this whisk? Right? And then you start questioning yourself. By the way, I'm just rounding it up to 40 because it's easier to say. I don't want to have to sit there here and say $38.62 like every time I talk about the price. The $38.62 is basically $40, okay? So we're just going to say $40. That's when you start thinking twice. Because now I'm starting to think twice. I'm like, wait a minute, that's almost half a game. It used to be $15. Okay, no big deal. You play it, you try it out, you fart around for a month or two, and then you whatever. And that's not a huge commitment. But $40 is almost half the game now. So now you start thinking to yourself, well, do I really want to just pay $40 to play this game and never own the damn thing? Or do I just pay double and a bit and basically own it? Not basically own it, you would own it. 2.5 times the price of Game Pass. It'd be like, okay, well then I might as well just buy the damn thing. But then you're like, but I'm playing a lot of Battlefield and I got a shitload of AAA games either from third party or from PlayStation or from Xbox, because Xbox got Ninja Gaiden coming out. Outer Worlds 2 if you're into that thing, right? So you got all these games in your backlog that you probably haven't got to. I got a bunch I haven't even turned on yet, man. Tons of AAA games in there I haven't even turned on. All came out within this calendar year. It's insanity. So now I start to question things. And so I say to myself, if I buy it, am I really going to have time to play this? And then by the time I get around to it, the hype is dead. Right? Because the hype for Call of Duty lasts about 35 days. And then it's gone. It will make millions of dollars. And then, of course, there's a big push at Christmas time as kids get their copies at Christmas and all that shit. And there's usually a resurgence within that 90-day window. But, like, really after the first month, it's kind of gone. And then I'm like, well, I could always just play it for the 1 month. Sorry, this is the longest answer to a question ever, by the way. Sergeant Essential asked the question, will you bother with Black Ops 7 this year, Meg? And I'm trying to answer it here. But I'm trying to also, like, you know, give you guys an insight to the mindset of the consumer, because this is what's going to happen. People are not just going to immediately just go, fuck it, and just throw the money down. Now they're going to think twice about it. In the United States of America, $30 a month, that's almost half the game. That's 45% the price of the game. It's a bit of a commitment just to play that game and not own it. Right? That's the big thing. You're not owning it. I've heard stories. This generation, there's a lot of people who got into the Xbox ecosystem, for example, and they've been playing and say, hey man, I'm playing all these games, it's awesome, or whatever else. And then as soon as you cancel Game Pass, you have no games on your console. And then you realize, you're like, holy shit, I own nothing. I'm not talking about us old school cats who've been around since the 360. We got games from the 360, the Xbox One generation, the Series generation, and we have all those games carried over in our catalogs, right? Hundreds of games, some of us, some people even in the thousands of games, right? You know, some people didn't do that, but if you got some of these newer people who've been in the ecosystem between, let's say, now and the last 8 years, I'm not saying they have no games. Because, you know, a lot of people would have bought third-party games too, right? Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, like Hogwarts Legacy and, you know, whatever, Assassin's Creed and all those kind of games, right? They're all there. FIFAs, which are now called whatever, Football Club, Maddens, all that kind of shit, right? But a lot of people look back and they're like, I got nothing in this thing. I got nothing in my library. I don't own anything. And then that comes to that, you come to that realization. Then when you're paying almost half the price of the game itself, people start going, well, why not just buy the game? Well, if you're going to buy the game and you're going to spend $70 on a game that actually requires your timing, you're not going to want to push Black Ops 7 till like later into next year, because don't forget it's an annualized series. By next fall, they're going to have another Call of Duty cranked out of the sausage machine. So it's something you're going to need to play immediately. So if you plunk down that money either for Game Pass, which is almost half the price of the actual game itself, or you decide to buy the game, you better play it day one and drop every other game you're playing, because you need to get in there while the getting's good, right? You want to get in there with that first 90-day window when everybody's in there playing or whatever before the numbers start to dwindle. Think about that. So that's the thing. See, Seth Monster, I'm kind of with you, brother. I don't really go back to those games. Once I get in there, I'm like, you know. But like, this is the kind of thing that when they made these decisions, it makes people just stop forever 1 second to second guess their purchase. Whereas before it was a no-brainer. Now you're making people stop to think, and that's not good when you're trying to sell a product. When you're trying to sell a product, you don't want people to question themselves. You want people to say, I want that right now. Give it to me right now. Give me two. Give me two, bring it up to the counter. That's what you want. But now people go, let me think about it. And when someone says, let me think about it, it's over. It's over. You planted doubt into the customer's mind. Ladies and gentlemen, that might have been the most epic answer to a question in the history of YouTube. Sir Riffs a lot. You got ads? How is that even possible? You shouldn't be getting ads on a live show. Malkeith, let me see if I can get this right. Malkeith Cawthon, is that right? Malkeith Cawthon? Hey, Mag, I'm assuming that you never played The Casting of Frank Stone. You know, I saw the trailers for that. It actually looked like a lot of fun. Came out 2024, now on Game Pass. Woo! Interesting. Not a bad game during this Halloween season. Super massive games. That's fantastic. And the funny thing is, super massive games, little fun fact for everybody in the chat. Super massive games are the ones who actually made the new Little Nightmares 3. So yeah, fantastic. Voyager 88. Oh, Serif's a lot when you clicked in, but even then there should. Oh, okay, because it maybe when you started. Okay, because I made sure, by the way, for all you maggots out there, yeah, Mag secretly monetizing us all, Rambo.
You're a fucking choir boy compared to me.
Oh,
a choir boy.
I would kick myself off the right off the cliff, baby. I'd kick myself off the cliff. What does this button do?
Listen. Fuck off. Get out.
There we go. Ramsey's in the house. Serif's a lot. You actually missed the whole conversation. I was talking about the ROG Ally X. I am not getting it, and it's not because whatever. It's not a great piece of hardware. I'm not spending $1,500 for. Oh, like you just joined. Okay, I got you. I can't spend. I'm not spending $1,500 on something I'm not going to play. I only game at home, right? And I'm not going to. What am I going to walk around with a $1,500? It's $1,500 Canadian. I just might add, $1,500 handheld when I've got all the hardware in front of me, and this is the only time I game is right here. And like I might, maybe as I was saying before, maybe 3-4 times a year, I take a PS Portal with me on the road when I go on vacation or something. But how often am I really playing it? Maybe an hour at the airport while we're waiting for the plane. You know what I mean? Maybe on a rainy day when I'm on vacation. But the other times when I'm on vacation, it's sunny outside. Guess what I'm doing? I'm smoking cigars and I'm getting drunk.
You call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking degenerate prick.
That's what I am. Degenerate. Yes. So that, you know what I mean? That's what I do when I'm like on vacation. You know, and I don't travel for work. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. You know. Ricardo Franco, what's up, buddy? And what's he saying in the chat there? He's going in Brazil. Game Pass raise was 100% from $59.99 to one. Fuck me. What a nightmare. That's a total and utter nightmare.
Listen. Fuck off. Get out.
That is an absolute travesty for the people of Brazil. And you know the funny thing is the people of Brazil are huge Xbox supporters. Absolutely ridiculous that they treat them like that. Oh, very cool. Golden Suka saying, I'm getting the ROG Ally X and the Bulwark docking station so I can play my Steam games on my TV. Very cool. I want you to tell me, hey, Golden Suka, I want you to tell me how it is, buddy. I really appreciate it. Voyager 88 saying he's waiting for the next Steam Deck. There you go. Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat is saying the ROG Ally X is $400 more than a PS5 Pro in Australia.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me?
That's not funny at all.
Funny.
That is ridiculous. Volts to amps, great name. Volts to amps is saying that GTA 6 comes out. He's leaning towards the PS5 Pro. I mean, I got one right here. That's what I'll be playing GTA 6 on. Is on the Pro. But anyways, we'll see. We'll see how this all goes down. But anyways, while we're talking about this stuff, let's talk about the... So we talked about Battlefield 6. We talked about... we talked about Battlefield 6. Right now I'm sitting at a 9. Fantastic game. We talked briefly about Black Ops 7. I don't see any urgency to play this. Yeah, G.I. Joe, my name is I Am The Mag on... that's my EA ID. Archwar Angel, what's up? Yeah, so, anyways, we talked about the Black Ops thing. I'm 50-50 on it right now. I was gonna do what I normally do. I'd be like, listen, man, when I got like Ninja Gaiden and Outer Worlds 2 and The Keeper and Call of Duty all in there at once, I'll sub 1 month to Game Pass and I'll play all those games and then that's it. And then I'm not gonna sub for a whole year. I'll wait till Gears of War E-Day and Forza Horizon 6 are both out. And in fact, I might not even do that because my wife wants to play Gears of War. We've played all the Gears of Wars together. So I might just buy it for the PlayStation 5, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? I might just do that. Dead Meat 1? G.I. Joe, that's still my name? I thought it was I Am the Mag. I literally changed it online because Dead Meat 1 was my name well before I was the Mag. Like literally a decade and a half before I was the Mag. So Riffs a lot, I can absolutely guarantee you that the new Xbox is not going to be announced at the VGAs. Nothing. I can absolutely guarantee you that. So there you go, Sir Riffs a lot. I gave you something. It is not going to be announced at the VGAs. We're going to get into the next-gen console talk in just a minute. I just want to wrap up this little story here. So I might buy Gears of War E-Day if Fable indeed comes out in 2026, which I don't think it will. But let's just say for argument's sake it does. I'm also buying on the PlayStation because my wife wants to play it. So I'm going to be buying it as a third-party title anyway because I game share with her and she wants to play Fable and Gears. And she doesn't have an Xbox. She's not going to go buy an Xbox for 2 games. So I'm going to buy them on there. So again, am I going to sub to Game Pass for Forza Horizon 6? $38.62 just for that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I might have to wait till it kind of ties in with the new Call of Duty and maybe, once they're both out together, then I'll sub for like 1 month and I'll just rip through both games and just have a good time and whatever, and then that's it. Basically treat it like a second-class citizen. Fart around, okay, goodbye, see you later. And that's not a slight against Microsoft. I'm just saying, like, if I'm going to pay for a subscription service for 1 month, I'm going to take advantage of it, play the shit out of those games, and that's it. I'm going to dump it, and then wait till the next year or whatever. I'm not going to do that. There are other games, which, funny enough, I'm actually supporting Microsoft in a bigger way by buying the actual games themselves. They're getting a 70% cut of publisher fee if I buy it on PlayStation. They didn't even have to do anything for it. So you think Microsoft cares where the money comes from? They don't care. As long as they're getting the money, that's all they care about. Right? Make the quality software, make the service, get people to pay, and that's all they care about. They don't care about who's playing on what. You think Phil Spencer's going to sit there and he sees me buy Gears E-Day on the PlayStation? He's going to go, fucking pony.
Yeah!
No, Phil Spencer's going to be in the middle of buying his next, vacation house in Malibu or whatever. He doesn't care where the money comes from. They don't care where the money comes from. Amy and the Hood don't care where the money comes from. They just want the money.
Listen. Fuck off. Get out.
They don't care about any of this stuff. They care about money. Anyways, let's move on. We're going to talk about this next-gen console business. The next-gen console situation. I just like to reiterate the fact that right now, neither console actually exists. Okay? So we need to get this out of our heads that they already got a box that's already made. They're dev kits. They don't have nothing. Do you know what it is? I could tell you what it is. Mark Cerny, the church lady there. Okay, the Bob Ross of gaming. Well, I like to put a couple of nice little shaders right there. It's going to be our little secret. I'm going to do that. A little happy mistake. Put a few shaders inside. Then we're going to put some teraflops right over here, right by the water. See the shimmering right off the water? The shimmering right off the water. We're going to put some teraflops right there. That's right. It's going to be our little secret. It's going to be our little secret. He literally said, Mark Cerny said, that this is a simulation. They literally don't even have tangible parts yet in front of them. They said that they are literally operating or testing and doing R&D in this new system in a virtual simulation. Okay? That's how these things happen before they manifest themselves. Well, they don't manifest themselves. But they manifest the products after they've worked it through a simulation and say, okay, let's make a couple of these and let's see how it works. And let's build a practical model and let's actually see how it works. And then they go from there. If you think that the Project Magnus from Xbox is any different, it's not. And there's no guarantee that it's coming from inside Xbox. I still think it's going to be a third-party machine made by someone else. Whatever. But we don't know. I don't know that. I'm just saying I suspect that. I don't know as a fact. I maybe people can freak out. No, Mag, you're wrong. Yeah, I might be wrong. I might be absolutely wrong. However, they did say that they're doing R&D internally. That means that their teams internally, including Gandalf, they're working on it. They have all of this, all the components that they want to make or whatever, and put it in, their little simulation thing. And they're probably using the HoloLens. Can you imagine seeing like Gandalf with those big goggles on? You shall not pass! With those big his big HoloLens on, and he's making a virtual console, which is basically just going to be a PC, right? So they're doing all that. Nothing is actually there. It's not like they got like a Magnus like hiding under Phil's desk. Hey Magnus, how you doing down there, buddy? There's no Magnus under the desk. Doesn't exist. But the R&D has been going on for 5 years. That's a fact. And that's something that a lot of people don't get either. When they make a statement and go, "We are deep in development on the next generation whatever hardware," they're not lying. Because the minute that the series consoles came out, they started working on the next one. That's how these things work. They don't just create a console overnight and all of a sudden they go, Aloha Mora, and all of a sudden a console appears. Like, it's not how it works. It's been deep in development for 5 years. Same thing with Sony. They work on all these little things, these components, these ideas. They come. Listen, I'm not a tech guy, but I understand what they're doing, right? They troubleshoot ideas. Hey, what if we do this? What if we do that? That might be able to elevate this and that or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? They spitball all these ideas. All right, put in the simulation, see if it works, whatever. And then they just keep moving on from there. So by saying things like we're deep in development on our next generation consoles, they're absolutely not lying. They are doing that, and they've been doing it for a number of years. But to think that the thing is actually a tangible piece that they're ready to announce, no, they're not. No, they're not. Either is PlayStation. They didn't even say PlayStation 6. If you listen to Dana Carvey, Church Lady did not even say PlayStation 6. He said future consoles. I mean, we all know that means PlayStation 6. I mean, let's not be ridiculous. We all know exactly what he means. But the thing is, he didn't say that. He didn't say the PlayStation 6. He said future consoles. We will apply our simulations to future consoles. I'm sort of, paraphrasing what he said, but that's basically what he said. Right? So there you go. Like, so, you know what I mean? So neither one of them exists. They're not there. They're not they don't have them ready to go. They're not on the shelf. They're not they are working on, they have the specs, they have ideas or whatever else. The teams are already working on games for them. However, they're just working on specs. So they say, okay, guys, shoot for this, shoot for this, shoot for this, and that's what they do, and they continue to move forward like that. That's how they do it. And that's what they've done every generation. It's no different now. But everybody has so got their, everybody's got such a hard on to move on to the next thing because one reason or another, just slow down. You got a few years, and let me tell you something else. Now that you got a few years, you better start saving up your money because if you think this shit's gonna be cheap. It ain't going to be cheap. I would expect the PlayStation 6 to sit somewhere around $690, maybe $599 to $699 because they might price it cheaper. Sony will continue to do what they do, subsidize, and then take a little bit of a loss on the hardware. It doesn't matter for them in the end because if they sell 100 million plus and they got the software to back it up, they're going to do what they do every generation. Right? Sell a shitload, make a shitload of money. They don't really care. Microsoft, on the other hand, is a different situation. And this is something I talked about last night on XNC. I was saying that I believe that the new product is going to be a boutique item. And what I mean by a boutique item is that you're not going to walk into, whatever. Well, whoever's still carrying them, whatever stores are carrying, you're not going to see skids of Xbox Magnuses sitting around because they're going to be well over $1,000. And if you think that I'm full of shit, you're paying $1,000 for a fucking handheld. Right now. Imagine a dedicated box, more powerful, and whatever that sits under your television. It's going to be $1,000 and above. Well over $1,000 and above. They're not going to be stacked up in crates, in skids like the dude comes over with the box cutter. He starts cutting over the plastic, and all the customers start rushing and grabbing them. That's not going to happen. If you're going to want to buy the next Xbox, you're going to have to buy it at the store. And then I mean by the store, I mean the Microsoft store, like online. They'll send it to you. Best Buy will probably have them, right? That kind of thing. And you'll be able to buy it like that. You might have one here and there, or a couple here and there at some of the bigger, like I said, like a Best Buy. You might have one or two, like in the locked cabinet kind of thing. But to think that this is going to be like how the other generations went, it's not. Their projections are far, far lower. Right? Their projections are between 10 and 12 million consoles sold next generation. And that's just a projection. That doesn't mean anything. Because they already see where the trend is going. And they're also trying to open up the access for Xbox to be playable elsewhere. For example, I told you guys a bunch of times, either here or even on Colt's channel, whatever. When I bought this new monitor here, okay, this beautiful monitor I got in front of me for gaming, not for podcasting. But this monitor that I sit here, when you turn this thing on, the first thing that it did is started advertising Xbox on my screen. So when I turned it on, it said, play Doom the Dark Ages and whatever the hell else they had out there at the time. And it says, no console required. All I had to do was Bluetooth a controller to this monitor. And I could play all the Xbox games right there. No problem. So every time you get somebody who buys a monitor or buys a new tablet or buys whatever, and they advertise either Game Pass or whatever directly on the screen, some people will be like, you know what? I'll use that as a secondary device. I'm not going to buy $1,000 hardware. There are a lot of people out there who don't give a shit about the hardware. The Series consoles will continue to be supported well into the next generation as well. I said it. I was saying it yesterday that I think the Series X will continue to be supported all the way to at least 2030. At least 2030, maybe even beyond 2030. Because what they're going to do after that, they're going to start utilizing a cloud solution that you'll be able to run right off the console. Right? So that's something that's definitely going to happen. 78 Inc. is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Voyager 88 saying $1,200. I'm assuming you're talking about Microsoft. Yo, Soldier for Life. How's it going, buddy? What's he saying? Salute Arc Raiders. Open beta server slam this weekend. Available on all platforms. Wow. Right in the middle of all this Battlefield madness. And then they got Arc Raiders doing their thing. You've got Call of Duty in 3 weeks. Wow. What a time, man. What a time. And that's the other thing that I'm trying to say. Like, how the hell do we have time for all this shit? You can't. These things demand so much time and attention. How can you give a proper amount of attention to all these different things? You can't. Jesse James is saying, I'm selling my Series X to help get the next Xbox. Yeah, I never hold on to my consoles. I don't hold on to anything. Dude, I don't hold on to shit. I don't hold on to anything. I sell off my old consoles and I bring them back. And that's why I always do incremental upgrades. And the reason why I do incremental upgrades is because I get a better trade-in when it comes in. I have the PS5 Pro right now. Fantastic machine. I love it. I love it to death. However, when the PS6 comes out, guess what? That PS5 Pro is Gonzo Alonzo, baby. I am going to be trading that shit in, probably get about $350, $400 for that, and I'm going to use that towards the purchase of the PlayStation 6. Just like the Switch 2. I traded in the Switch OLED, brand new Switch OLED, which I only had for like 2 years. Barely touched. I traded in the Switch 1 OLED and a whole stack of like shitty games that nobody played, right? Well, and mind you, there was also like a special going on at GameStop. There's like, if you're a Platinum member, which I am a Platinum member, they gave you an extra 50% trade-in. Dude, I got like $700 trade-in, Canadian, obviously. I got like $700 of trade-ins, and I got the Switch 2 with 3 games, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart World, and it was the bundle with Mario Kart World, and Mario Odyssey. I got those 3 games plus the Switch 2 for 300 Canadian. Worked out to $211 American. I got a brand new Switch 2 and 3 games for $211 US. Just over 300 Canadian. That's how you do it. And so same thing. So Jesse James is doing the same thing. He's going to trade in his series consoles, get a couple $100 for it. That'll, take the edge off a little bit. You might Well, who knows how much you're going to spend? We'll see how much they cost in the end. But either way, it's up to the consumer. You guys do whatever do whatever you want, however you want to do it. Either way, I can tell you right now that they don't exist. Neither one of them exist. They're not tangible products that they have like sitting on the desk that they could say, okay, here it is, whatever. You're not going to see any reveals. They will talk about it here and there sparingly. You will start to hear about it at the end of 2026, not 2025. So you got at least another year and plus whatever. And like I said, there's no rush on hardware right now anyway. There's no rush. The irony is there's a lot of people out there who actually have a lot of problems with there's a lot of like really unhappy people that just want a next gen console because they're not happy with this gen. And I'm like, guys, that's not how it works. You can't speed run the next generation because this generation sucked for you. But I know some people feel like that. This generation did not suck for me. I had a great time this generation. You know. But either way. And when I say great generation, I mean like overall. You know what I mean? A little bit of, a lot of PlayStation this generation. Because like I said, my third-party purchasing has changed. Plus their exclusives, whatever else. Xbox was very hit and miss this generation. Very disappointing generation. I don't give a shit what anybody says. This generation was a train wreck for them. And they had some gems in there. I had some great games in there that I really enjoyed. Halo Infinite, really love that game. I loved it. I love the Halo Infinite. South of Midnight, great game. Doom the Dark Ages. Doom Eternal. The Call of Duties. Which really wasn't theirs. They just bought it. But I mean, like, you know what I'm saying. South of Midnight, love that game. Psychonauts 2, my favorite Xbox game of this generation, without a question. And then the rest with third party and PlayStation. Right? So I had a great generation overall. As a gamer who owns everything, I had a great generation. But there's some people who are disappointed with their console of choice. And they want this generation to end. Like now. And I'm like, listen, man, that's not how it works. Expand your horizons. I mean, I know it's kind of ignorant for me to say expand your horizons because that actually costs physical money, right? And not everybody has the means to be able to just go out and buy $1,000 consoles, $700 consoles, whatever else. It costs a lot of money, and I understand that. And I'm grateful every single day that I have the ability to be able to afford every console or whatever. Maybe not all at once. I do it like in stages. You know what I mean? Like I do it in stages. It's not like I just go to the store and be like, here, give me everything for $5,000. Like it doesn't work that way. I do it over years, right? I do it over years. It takes time. But yes, I'm still in a very, I'm still in a position where I could do that. And as a result of being able to do that, I get to experience everything. And therefore, I don't find disappointment. Because if I find disappointment on one side, I can always go to the other side and see what's kicking over there. And then when I'm doing shit over there, the other side that was not doing so well, all of a sudden they come out with a few bangers. Guess what? I go over there. And then I go back and forth and be like, yeah, this is awesome. So for me, it's been a fantastic generation. I feel no rush to get into the next generation. None whatsoever. I have no desire or push to move into the next generation as quickly as some people. And like I said, I know, listen, some people can lie to themselves. You can't fucking lie to me. Because I know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. I know exactly why some people are trying to push for the next generation so fast. It's because this generation was dog shit for them. You come to this channel, I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. And that's the truth. You can swear up and down and left and right.
Listen. Fuck off.
You can swear up and down, left and right, but when you put your head on your pillow at night, you stare at the ceiling, and the only person awake is you and your own thoughts, you know that I'm right. And that's fact. Volt Stamps. Have a great day at work tomorrow, buddy. Johnny T. That's a funny comment. Oof. 78 Inc. asked me a really tough question. Listen, man, it's not my place to tell, to try and come up with an idea of how Microsoft can get back in the... He asked me this question. He says, Mag Show, what do you think it would take for Microsoft to get back into the good graces with its consumers? The problem is, and this is something Colt and I talked about on the show, is that it's not about... what you release at this point. I'm talking about right now. It's not about, you don't release new hardware or this and that or whatever. And the problem is you've burned yourselves, you burned your consumers and yourselves so many times that this one feels different. You know what I'm saying? This one feels different. This one feels different in the way that Microsoft pissed people off throughout the last, the last 2 generations. But people were like, all right, well, they're being idiots, but I'm still going to get my Xbox. I'm still going to play over there. I'm one of them. I have a Series console. I have a Series X and a Series S right here. I continued with them. I had an Xbox One, an Xbox One S, and an Xbox One X. I had all those consoles. I had the Kinects, the whole friggin' thing, right? And then, of course, I have this generation's consoles, too. But this time it felt a little different. This time felt like people have finally had enough. And you could see it in the sentiment when you go out to YouTube and stuff like that, right? You see it on there or whatever, and you see the big YouTubers. Maybe they're grifting, maybe they're not. I don't know. But when you see the big YouTubers saying what they're saying or whatever, is the gamer ranks with 15.8 million subs, and they're saying this, shit like Xbox is dead forever, or whatever the fuck they're saying. Their headlines are neither here nor there. I'm not saying I agree with that stuff or disagree with it. I'm just saying that's what they say, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, when you see all that sentiment out there, when you see people walking away, and there's a problem with trust, and I think that's the bigger issue at 78 Inc. is that now. It's not about good graces anymore. Everybody knows now you can't trust Microsoft. They know it. And when they say things like, when there's that saying, fool me once, you know what I'm saying? Well, now we're up to number 5. Customers aren't this stupid. There are some people who are just beyond fucking help. Those people I don't talk to. They're beyond help. They're just so hopelessly, was that song from Greece? Hopelessly devoted to you.
Listen. Fuck up. Get out.
Those people are beyond help. That's your own business. You do whatever you want to do. I tend to not converse with those people. And only because there's so much toxicity there and so much anger and angst and this feeling of a trapped animal in the corner that they have to lash it. Stop it, man. It's a fucking hobby. Relax yourself. I want to make this my career. But making my career about talking about this and being part of this industry is one thing. That's a totally different thing. But for a lot of people, this is just a hobby. It's relax. It's, you know what I mean? Just relax. The problem is 78 Inc. is that it's no longer good graces. It's the problem. You've now lost these consumers' trust. And when you lose a consumer's trust, you lose their dollar. Some people will still continue to play, and they do whatever the hell you want. I don't really give a shit. I don't really care. Do whatever you want. But you've lost the trust of a lot of people. And there's a lot of hardcore people out there that still say, I don't trust Microsoft. When you have Brad Sams, the guy who did... I don't have to retread all the shit that's gone on over the last 2 weeks, but I'm just going to bring it up again as an example. When Brad Sams, the guy who is your tech guy, your hardware man, who literally has a channel devoted to Microsoft hardware, he is the guy that they gave the Series S to reveal on his channel. When he says he doesn't trust them... You see what I'm getting at? That's fucking serious, man. And so that's what I mean by that, 78 Inc. It's all about trust, and they've lost the trust. And I don't know if they're going to be able to get that back. But you're always going to have the 10% that's always there. They're not going anywhere. They have all their friends there. They have all the games. They have everything else. They ain't going no place. Right? They're always going to be there. I will always have access to my Microsoft or to my Xbox, whatever, Microsoft account, where I'll be able to access my games, all my friends, all my followers. I have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people that follow me on Xbox. I play games over there occasionally. I was just playing Little Nightmares 2 on my Xbox today or yesterday. I was playing Black Ops 7 on Xbox, whatever, and I'm in there. I'm in the community as well. So I will always have access to my Xbox in one form or another, even moving forward in the future. Right? But we're not talking about me. We're not talking about you guys, or some of you guys. We're talking about the general people out there. When you've lost their trust, that's when you're in trouble. You know what I mean? In that respect. They ain't going nowhere. I also said it last night. The Xbox division is making money. Let me make this abundantly clear for everybody who thinks I'm just like sitting here talking shit about Xbox nonstop. The Xbox division is making money in every single department except for hardware. Okay? If you actually go and check out the financials, and you could see them, you could see that every single division of Xbox is making money. They're making billions of dollars. The only one that is consistently losing money is hardware. It doesn't take a fucking rocket science or scientist to figure out that the hardware could be in jeopardy when every other department is making money except for the hardware. What they're going to do, they're not really concerned about the hardware. What they're more concerned about is giving you access to your library so that you may continue to stay in there as a monthly active user. That's all they care about. They will offer you some kind of a hardware solution. It will not be affordable for the majority of people out there, but it will be available so that they can't be called liars. Because when they say we're always going to give you access to your games and your library, and they give you an option, but it's not really affordable, doesn't matter. They gave you the option. You can't call them a liar. They say, well, we gave you an option. It's just very expensive. Market conditions, right? They could say that. But you can't call them a liar because they gave you access. They gave you access to your library. They say, well, you got access to your library. Here's an Xbox. Here's a Magnus right here. It's $1,200, but doesn't matter. It's right here, or whatever they want to charge. I'm just being a jackass. But you know what I'm saying? So you see how slick these guys are? Can't call me a liar. Didn't say it was going to be cheap, but you can't call me a liar. We've got Voyager 88. One of my first maggots out there. Thank you so much, my friend. Absolutely incredible. Look at this. He drops 5 gifted members. Unbelievable.
Tonight's the night.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen again and again.
Amazing, Voyager 88. Thank you so much, my brother. We got B. Macaleps, Youssef. We got E.G. Kenta. Look at you sneaking around in the background that I didn't see in the chat. We got Tony Caputo BR. Here's another one. Lost Boy, another one. Hey, you guys are sneaking around in the background listening, eh? What's the matter? You don't want to come say hi to the mag and all the maggots? Come on, baby. Don't be shy. Listen, guys, you are now... Thank you, Voyager 88. You're absolutely incredible, man. And everybody else, for all the gifted members tonight, you guys are amazing. And for all the new members, of course...
Welcome to hell! Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
There you go, baby.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
All right, maggots, you're in there. Yeah, Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat, listen to you, dude. No, mag, it's life and death. You know what? For some people, it is life and death. It's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. Voyager 88, thank you again, once again. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate that. For all the new channel members, of course, you got access to emojis. You've got access to the members-only Discord. Just go check it out. It's all in capitals. It's all The Space Mag Show. Go over there. That's for the members only. There should be a link right on my main YouTube page. I know some people are having trouble finding it. I don't know why, but a bunch of people have found it, and they're all over there. Channel members who are over there and whatever. So there you go, man. You guys are now in the green. That's fantastic. I'm really excited about that. And of course, you guys all have access. All channel members have exclusive access to my cooking videos before I go live, before I put them out to the public later in the week. So you guys will get all of those different things. And I've got more goodies coming up in January as I continue to build this channel into a juggernaut, which is the big plan, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again, guys, for all the support. Look at all that green in the chat, man. Just absolutely makes my heart melt, man. I absolutely love it. Makes my heart melt. Anyways, that's the next gen console talk. We don't have to talk about any of that anymore. I think we've talked about it enough. You know, we don't have to keep reiterating the same shit over and over and over. But, you know, it's for some people out there who don't really, you know, get the idea, is just, this is what's happening, man. This is how it's all going to work out. You know? But we shall see how this all turns out in the end. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all just consumers. We're all going to find out over time. Falcon, welcome. Falcon is asking a very interesting question, and I need to address this. He said, was it a mistake by Xbox to develop the kind of relationship with its consumers on a personal level, trying to be more relatable when they know business decisions are not always consumer friendly? Oof. Man, dude, that's some heavy shit right there. Falcon, that is a serious... Yeah, but you know why? You know what ends up happening? Because at the end of the day, yeah, you're right. And I think it is a mistake. And you know why it's a mistake? Because when the company, not the individual, when the company makes a business decision, those people are now going to take it personal. And that's why there's so much emotion when these things go down. It's because they take it personal. Because now they think Phil Spencer betrayed me. Whatever, right? Like if they raise Game Pass by $5 or $10. You know what I mean? And because of that, you know what? It's a great point. That's a good question. And I think, yes, my personal answer, I think it is a mistake that they did that. Because now when the company makes a decision, you're going to take it personal because you think that, like, Aaron Greenberg, who took a picture with you, or whatever, you think they did it to you, right? You feel personally betrayed, right? Or Phil Spencer, or you take a picture with Sarah Bond, right? You know, in front of, like, the backdrop at, like, the film festival, you know, doing this. So now you feel like they've done that to you, but they're not doing that to you. The company is doing that. The company that doesn't give a shit about you. Amy Hood doesn't even know who the fuck you are. They don't know who I am. You think Amy Hood's sitting there watching the Mag Show, wondering what we're thinking? They don't care. And as a result of all that, that's how you pay the price for this stuff, because then you take it so personal. You're like, God damn it, they betrayed me. They raised it by 50% or whatever they did, right? They canceled this game. Damn you, Phil. You had nothing to do with it. Up above, they had something to do with it. The people you don't even know about. They're the ones calling those shots. But they send out them to go talk about it. But even then, when all that bad news came, they didn't come talk about it. It's not like they came out and rolled themselves out in front of the camera and said, hey, by the way, we're canceling this, that, and the other, or whatever, right? Whatever the news story has been over the last year. It has been the most ridiculous and most tumultuous year I've ever seen for a corporation's division anyway. It's been wild. It's been wild. It's been an unprecedented year. You got to admit, it's been an unprecedented year. So anyways, that being the case, yes, Falcon, I agree 100%. That they got too... Big boy Perry. Falcon, the reason why Sony and Nintendo really don't get that smoke is because they distance themselves. They realize they are a business. They're a business that supports the product. They put the product out there and they're like, here, take it or leave it. Or...
Listen. Fuck off. Get out.
See what I'm saying? I see you in the chat there, Herman Guild. Elder Scrolls 6, any news? Yes, it's coming. The game is coming. It's progressing nicely. I could tell you this without question, that I know somebody who's played a few levels, missions, to test it. The game is not like it's not like it's playable. Like, here's Elder Scrolls 6. Go enjoy yourself and, get back to us in 100 hours and let me know what you think of it, and then we're going to develop. No, you're getting little snippets of this and that, whatever, as they're doing like all these tests and everything else. This is like pre alpha stuff. Like, there's stuff, being manifested. There's stuff that's actually there on screen or whatever else. And there's some people who have actually been like, okay, let me move the character from A to B and see what happens or whatever. Like it does exist. It's there. Some of the writers have talked about it briefly, saying that I know one mission for sure. And it wasn't because it was played. I just know the mission because I know about the writing of the story. I don't know the details of the story. All the details. I just know about this one mission. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I know about it out of context, so I can't say, oh, that's a bit of a spoiler or something. Like, I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's on Creation Engine. I don't know anything about the technical stuff. I just know that it is moving forward. It's not going to be anytime soon, by the way. Let's not get our titties in a twist. That's going to be a next generation game. That ain't coming out this generation. Or whatever. I know, like, when you say next generation, I mean, you're also supporting the other consoles for several years going into it. So there'll probably be a PS5 and an Xbox Series version of the game will be available, no question. And then it'll be for whatever, the next Xbox or PC or whatever, and then the PS6, there'll be those versions as well. So I would imagine you'll be able to play it on both consoles. I mean, I don't know as a fact. It's just me guessing. But anyway, the game does exist. It is progressing nicely or whatever. And they're doing their thing. I mean, other than that, there's really not much else to tell in that regard. You know what's funny, though? Oh, God, no. Lou Bega, no, I haven't even wrapped the Yotai. Not even close. Not even close. I'm about 13 hours into the game, but like I said, I got so many other games on the go. I'm streaming Battlefield. I'm also playing Battlefield behind the scenes. I've been playing Silent Hill 2 on the channel for Halloween Haunt. I've got Little Nightmares coming up next week. In the middle of all that, I've got Ghost of Yotai, plus, real life stuff, right? So it's really insane for me to try and, do all this. It's crazy, man. It's a lot. Brandon Christensen is saying they are using Creation Engine 2. Okay, very interesting to know. Christopher K, they're going to take a long time. I mean, look at Starfield. Took what was it, in the making for 22 years or some shit like that? I don't know. They do what they do, But hey, what am I going to say? What am I going to say, right? There's nothing I can do about it. C Fresh, how you doing, buddy? I didn't even say hi to you. Sorry, man. So anyhow, that's that story. Anybody else got any other questions they want to talk about? Christopher K, I did not enjoy Starfield either. I did not like it. It was just not for me. And the irony is, I actually own the game. I have the deluxe version of the game. I didn't buy it. I got it gifted to me by somebody, and I'm like, all right. So I went in there and I gave it a really good college try, and I'm just like, this ain't for me. It just wasn't for me. But it's okay. That's fine. It's not for everybody. Look at the difference. I couldn't even get past 5 or 6 hours. Colt Eastwood is 450 hours into the game, and I'm like, dude. But there's some people who are just, like I said, they gravitate towards certain games, and some people don't, gravitate towards others, man. Glinser, they were actually going to sell the assets of Perfect Dark. There were other companies that were interested in buying it, and they actually denied it. They decided to keep it for themselves. Which is stupid, because if you're doing nothing with the fucking IP, why did you hang on to it? But nope, they didn't want to. But they had interested parties out there. Some pretty big developers out there were including Take-Two, by the way. Take-Two Publishing was interested in taking, not Everwild. They were interested in taking Perfect Dark. And Microsoft walked away from the negotiation table, which is absolutely insane. That's absolutely insane. So, anyways, that's all for the news this week. There hasn't really been that much news, to be quite honest. It's just been a lot of speculation, a lot of, stuff that, like this, the Xbox is on the shelves thing. I'm not going to get back into all that nonsense. We all been through all that stuff. We don't know anything for sure what's going on. I just know that some things are true and some aren't true, and then everything else is literally up in the air. All of the stuff that's being argued about right now, and all the little things and all the talking heads all fighting with each other, all that stuff is actually being discussed at Microsoft as we speak when it comes to their future. We already know what Sony's future is. They got a PS6 coming. There's no question about it. That's all there is to it. Nintendo has no desire to be releasing any other hardware at least until into the 2030s. So they're fine. They're doing their thing and they're making a shitload of money. Why do they care, right? So they're fine. It's only Microsoft is the one that's up in the air right now because of all of the discourse that's been happening. And I can absolutely assure you that meetings are happening as we speak about all this stuff right now and whether or not it's going to go forward or whether they're going to find a different solution. No one's saying they're closing up shop. No one's saying they're dead. I mean, some people are saying they're dead, but I'm saying they're not dead and they're not going anywhere. But I'm just saying that we don't know in what it's going to look like in a couple of years. Right? We don't know where they're going to be. But they're working on solutions right now into how they can, remedy this whole situation. Or, who knows? Who knows where they'll be? Right? Might sell it. Might not. They might make a console. They might not. We don't know. So all we're going to have to do as good little boys and girls out there and gamers out there, he will not be fired, Magnum. Phil will not be fired. And we just have to wait and see. And then when all this happens, then we could talk about it some more. But really until then, I think like everything, all this thing. And why do you think I haven't made a video about this, guys? I didn't make a video about this for specifically this reason. Is because I didn't want to make a fool of myself out here and say, this is what we're talking, like this is what's happening, this is what's happening. Nope, no, this is what's happening. No, well, this is what's happening. No, well, this is what's happening. And it's like the news is changing every day and none of it is solid evidence of anything. None of it is solid evidence of anything. And I actually know as a fact that the people that are working inside of Microsoft right now are in the midst of discussing all of these things. So all of the stuff that even they're saying, I don't believe it either. They're not lying. They're not lying. They're not lying. But they're also stretching the truth in a way that they can say, well, a lot of that corpo speak stuff, right? So don't trust them either. But I'm just trying to say that there are a lot of internal discussions that are happening over there. And we'll see where this future goes, right? But in the end, what are we here for? Look at everybody here in this chat right now. We got like 79 people in this chat right now. Hey, Street, how you doing, buddy? Retire, yes. Fired, no. Exactly. Phil will retire eventually, but he will not be fired. Or maybe they'll fire him anyway and be like, listen, dude, we're going to fire you, but we're going to give you a big severance package so that, you get paid out or whatever. That works a lot, too, for people. They're like, yeah. And so they don't tell everybody, they don't tell them that they terminated him off a list. They might just be like, listen, like, we parted ways, or they let him go, or this and that, or he's no longer working here, that kind of thing. But they do it for their own financial benefit, so they all help each other out. It's not like a negative, a negative situation. Phil's going to leave when he's going to leave, and that's all there is to it. He will not be fired. I assure you that. Nice, Street. Nice to see you, buddy. So anyways, yeah. We shall see where this all takes us. But in the end, what are we doing here, guys? We now have 81 people in this chat right now. You know what we are? We're just gamers. We're just gamers out here to have a good time, play some games. I had people in this chat tonight who joined the channel, everybody else donating this and whatever, and all that. All adding me on Battlefield 6. That's what we should be focusing on. We should focus on that stuff. Yeah, you come here to get some news and whatever else, and of course, thoughts and opinions, and I will give my thoughts and opinions raw and uncut every single time. I don't mince words. I just say it like it is. The funny thing is, it's something I do want to address, though. Is that people, this might be a little bit self-serving, so, bear with me for just a moment. But people say I say different things on different shows, and I'm like, yeah, I do, but I don't change the way I think. That's so stupid. And I'm like, do you know why I say different things on different shows? And they're like, "Bleh." I'm like, because they ask different questions, moron.
You are an idiot. You don't know anything. You don't know squat, you stupid idiot.
You know what I'm saying? If you ask me different questions, you're going to get different answers. Like, for example, when I'm on Crossfire with Mooch, Mooch will ask me a question, and I answer it. And then when I go on XNC, Colt asks me a different question, and I answer it. And so people can say, see, he said two different things. I'm like, because they asked two different questions, idiot. So when it comes to stuff like this, what I'm talking about now, I said all the same shit last night. Just framed in a different way because Colt asked a different question. But my thoughts will never change. They never will. What you get here, this is actually me. This ain't no grift. This ain't no bullshit. This is me. And I actually have a feeling that a lot of the reasons why you guys are here is because I hate this. It sounds so, like I said, it sounds so self-serving, but I am authentic. Authenticity is the currency of the future. Remember that, kids. I am authentic. I say how I feel, and I also say how it is. Whether you like it or not. If you're comfortable with it or not, you're going to hear it. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. That's all I'm going to say to you. But you know what the problem is when you go somewhere else? You're going to miss the ride, baby. Because this ride is going to be out of control. And it's only going to get better. See, Magnum doesn't like Mooch. That's totally fine, dude. Canada Best 100. Welcome to the chat, buddy. Mag, what should we call the fan base? Maggots? That's what we're called, dude. We're called maggots. And if you become a channel member, it literally says you become a magnificent maggot.
Get in there and fight, maggot.
That's right. Sorry, Ali. I didn't mean to sound like Eminem. I didn't realize I sound like Eminem. I'll take some of Eminem's money, though. I'll take a few of his dollars. That's so funny. Speaking to you, Twitter stalker. But it's true, you know what I mean? Like, so like all these thoughts and opinions that you heard tonight, we've been on the air for 2 hours now. And all the things that I say on here, for the most part, I mean, all the people that come to this channel, they know exactly what they're getting. And the funny thing is, like, I'll still get that one idiot that'll come around and say, no, you said this and that, but you didn't say this and that over there. And I'm like, because they didn't ask. But if you ask the question and it happens to be what I talked about here, you're going to get the same answer here, and you're going to get the same answer there, that you got over here. And that's the way it goes. And that's the way it's always going to go over here. I'm looking out for myself and the consumers, all of you. I am no superhero, but I'm looking out for you guys. I'm trying to put out from our point of view of what we should be worrying about. Not blind tribalism to any one of these companies or consoles. I don't give a shit which one we're talking about. We should be looking after ourselves, our families, our wallets, our friends, our homes, and enjoying this hobby because we're supposed to have fun doing this, right? I love doing this, man. Like the YouTube thing, it's so awesome. It's so much fun. I could sit here and talk for hours and hours and hours and hours, and I enjoy the hell out of it. I love YouTube. And I love talking to all of you guys. I feel like you guys are like that missing link for me, right? I get like, sometimes I get like wandering around the house and I'm like, man, I just want to get online and just like talk to all the maggots. I feel lonely. Just hanging around. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I just want to get on the air and just like do a live show and just like start talking to everybody. I'm not even looking for money. I'm not looking for super chats. That comes. But like, you know what I mean? Like we're part of this community, whatever else, and we're all together doing this kind of thing. You know what I mean? And as a result of us doing all that thing, I'm looking out for all of you. And so when I say what I say, I'm not saying it to be an asshole. Hey, Buzz, how's it going, buddy? Welcome to hell. Welcome to hell, buddy.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
That's right. I'm looking out for all of you, and for me, of course. My wallet matters just as much as all of yours. And if I say what I'm going to say, I'm saying it because I'm saying it for the benefit of the consumer, not for the benefit of some company that don't give a shit about me. If I get 1 million subscribers on this channel, and I will one day, do you think that well, you actually know what? They probably will start to pay more attention because they're a little more scared. Because they're like, oh shit, what's this guy gonna say today? Right? Because at that point you have a lot of sway, you have a lot of influence. But you know what's gonna happen over here? Nothing. I'm gonna say the same shit I said when I had 2.7 thousand subscribers versus 1 million subscribers. I'm gonna say the exact same thing now. I'll say the exact same thing then. So if you want that authenticity, you come here. You have any questions to ask me in the chat? You ask me now. And I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you, Brandon Christensen. See, you guys are like all brothers and sisters to me, man. I love it. Falcon is saying the same thing. I enjoy conversing with you, Mag, in the chat community. Yeah, man, it's amazing. And tomorrow at some point, we'll jump on some Battlefield with the community, with the maggots. We'll get out there and we'll start playing some Battlefield. Get out there and do what we're supposed to be doing, is having some fucking fun. Not sitting here yelling at each other and freaking out and unfollowing each other because of stupid shit. Depka, how you doing, buddy? Remember I was here when you had 1 million subs. Of course I'll remember. I'll remember every single one of you guys because you guys will all be there for the journey. That's the way it's going to be. Voyager88 saying, I met a beast of a challenge in Yote today. Going to need to grind before returning. See, I love that. Oratos V, how's you going, man? There's another green in the chat. Andy Hart, how you doing? Good morning. Oh, Ricardo, don't remind me. Ricardo's like, what happened to the Blue Jays? Dude, they're just ice cold, dude. They're ice cold. The Blue Jays that beat the Yankees did not show up yet. I mean, they got 40-plus runs in four games, and now they can't even swing the damn bat. So it's a disaster. But it's okay. We'll see. If they lose, they lose. What are you going to do? You just move on with life. Continue doing what you're doing. But anyways, I think we're going to wrap it up here, folks. I think we've exhausted all the topics for this week. Been a little bit of a quieter week, but I could tell you this. Expect a lot of news over the next month. I think things are going to get wild. Just a prediction. I think things are going to get real wild. But we're going to find out. Oilers. Oh, man. Canada best. I know, brother. I know, man. You guys get robbed every year, man. It's such a piss off. But it's okay, man. One of these years, it's going to be all yours, man. I promise you. One of these years is going to be all yours. That cup's going to be yours. But anyways, like I said, we're going to have a lot more news coming up. But anyways, we got a busy week ahead of us. Let me just get ahead of that for just a moment here. We are going to be doing some tomorrow. I'm going to be playing some Battlefield with the community. I will not stream it. Excuse me. Tomorrow morning I'm busy, so I can't finish the campaign. So we're going to have to wait till Thursday to finish the campaign in the morning. But tomorrow in the afternoon, because like I said, I'm not going to be home till after lunch. In the afternoon, we're going to play some offline Battlefield. And what I mean by offline is I will be online, but I will not be on YouTube. So we can go out there and just play some Battlefield with the community. I will have my proper headphones on, so we can have party chats, whatever you want. We'll do that sometime tomorrow afternoon. And then tomorrow night, we're going to continue Halloween Haunt as we go into, we're going to see if we can wrap up Silent Hill 2 before my wife and I move into Little Nightmares 3. By the way, my youngest daughter, my little 10-year-old, she adores Little Nightmares, and she's like, Daddy, and I'm like, what? Oh! And I said to her, she says, Daddy, can you play Little Nightmares 3 with me? And I said, sure, I could do that. And then she's like, can we play it live on YouTube? Because I want to see what it's like to be famous. And I was like, oh my God, the little girl break my heart. And I'm like, I'm not really famous, honey, but I said, I will let you play one gaming session with me online. Because I don't like children online. It kind of freaks me out a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't like them exposed to, the online. I'm not saying about you guys. I'm just saying. Don't take that the wrong way.
This is Sparta!
Just kick myself off a cliff.
Listen. Fuck off. Get out!
Yeah, fuck off, Mag. No, that's not what I mean. But I just don't want her exposed to like the online community. It's kind of like in general. Like I don't like her. I don't like her playing online games like with her headphones on and stuff because like you don't know who's on the other end of that shit. You know what I mean? Kind of freaks me out a bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little overprotective of my daughter, but either way, I'm going to have her go on a little bit of a stream and see if she has. See what, whatever. And we're going to do Little Nightmares 3. So I'm going to put her on for a little bit. I'm going to be playing the majority of the game with my wife. That'll be next week sometime. But tomorrow afternoon, it'll be Battlefield 6 online multiplayer with the maggots. Anybody want to join me? Come join me. Just find me online. It'll be about mid-afternoon, my time, Eastern Standard, somewhere between like 2 and 4 p.m., somewhere around there. Maybe even a little bit earlier. But again, not streamed to YouTube. It'll just be all of us having some fun. So we'll do that tomorrow night. Silent Hill 2. And then Thursday we're going to move into Thursday morning. We're going to move into the hopefully the conclusion of the Battlefield 6 campaign. And then Thursday night we will continue Halloween Haunt. If I can finish Silent Hill 2 tomorrow by some miracle, then we will move on to a Little Nightmares as soon as this Thursday. So we will all see. We'll play it by ear and see how it all goes down. If extra news drops this week or whatever, see how things go. I might drop an emergency MAGCAST. We'll see how things happen, but I don't know. We'll see from there. Andy Hart drops a £5 super chat. That's proper money out there, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you so much, Andy Hart. And he says, the most anti-consumer thing that gets my back up is paying for online. Why is PC free when consoles have to pay?
You call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking degenerate prick. You know that's what you are?
That's what they are. That's what they are, Andy Hart. You were 100% correct, my friend. And in fact, all these people that are still charging us for online because for them it's easy money, all I got to say is this. You're fired. All of them. All of them for making us pay for that. You're absolutely right, Andy Hart. Thank you again, once again, for the £5 super chat. You're absolutely incredible. Thank you for the support. He is 100% correct. Well, okay, 78 Inc. said he goes, PC is an open platform. Yes, I guess so, yeah. Yeah, Brandon Christensen pulled his kids from Roblox. Yeah, I could see it. I could see that. Voyager 88, Silent Hill F is coming after that. So after I'm done with Little Nightmares, well, Silent Hill first, Little Nightmares. Again, I will sporadically be playing Battlefield 6, whether I'm playing the campaign with myself or I'll be playing with the community. I'll be doing that sprinkled throughout. And then Silent Hill F is going to round out Halloween, and that's going to be a completely separate event from everything else because it's going to be a sponsored event. And as a result of that, I'm going to be playing exclusively that game when I stream. I will not be jumping around from any of the other games. It'll all be Silent Hill F while I do that. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man. A Resident Evil marathon. Listen, man, Resident Evil coming up in February. I think I'll go back and I'll let the maggots choose. I'll let channel members choose what Resident Evil games you want me to play, and we will play some of those Resident Evil games all the way up until the release of Resident Evil Requiem. I think that's a fantastic idea, and we'll start that in January because the game comes out in late February. But anyways, Andy Hart, once again, thank you for the super chat, brother. And everybody else who said super chats and gifted members tonight, you guys are all incredible, all amazing. I love you all. It's been an amazing journey, and we're only just getting started, man. We just dropped the pebble in the water, and the ripple effect is just going to start to happen. And you know what, man? It's just going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing, and you're all there for the ride. I can't wait for you. Reap the whirlwind. Let's do it, baby. Welcome to hell. Enjoy everything. And guys, have yourself a wonderful night. Stay magnificent. We'll talk to y'all real soon. Good night.